Severe weather coverage will begin shortly on Dr. Don's weather. Please, stand by. Severe weather coverage will begin shortly on Dr. Don's weather. Please, stand by. Severe weather coverage will begin shortly on Dr. Don's weather. Please, stand by.
Well, good morning, East Alabama and West Georgia. It is 6:13 Central, 7:13 Eastern on your Friday morning, and we are watching for the possibility of some severe weather across Alabama and Georgia today. The Storm Prediction Center has recently upgraded to an enhanced risk now, covering all of our coverage counties across East Alabama and West Georgia. We do have some thunderstorms out there this morning, but that's not the main show. We'll talk more about that coming up in this update here on Dr. Don's weather. So let's go over and take a look at the latest from the Storm Prediction Center. I'll take me out of there for just a few minutes. All modes of severe weather will be possible today. The window of opportunity will be from 9 a.m. this morning through about 3 p.m. this afternoon. We're looking at the possibility of damaging straight-line winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour, ping-pong ball-sized hail, and a few isolated tornadoes will be possible today as well. Now, if you'll take a look at that graphic there on the right-hand side of the screen, turn your phone sideways. It'll blow it up a little bit. It's a little easier to see. But those areas in the orange, that's the enhanced risk area of severe weather for today across Alabama, and that extends well into Georgia as well. All the way up into northwest Georgia, now covers all of North Georgia, Atlanta Metro, back down into Columbus, Macon, Albany, all of those areas in Georgia now covered under this enhanced risk. We have a slight risk area basically from about the Talladega County, St. Clair County line back to the west over to around Tuscaloosa, and then just a marginal risk over in West Alabama. This is kind of unusual. It's normally flipped. I mean, normally West Alabama has the best chance for severe weather. But today, because of the timing of the line of storms that'll be coming through, it's going to be reversed because the main focusing mechanism of this storm system will be coming through East Alabama and West Georgia during the heating of the day. So that's why we're looking at this. Now, we do have some showers and thunderstorms out there this morning. And we'll go to the radar, and I'll show you what we're talking about. This is not the main show. This is that area of rain that we were talking about last night that we were hoping would be a little more in coverage, and we were hoping it would kind of hang out across East Alabama for several hours to help destabilize or to help stabilize the atmosphere. But unfortunately, the north end of this is not very strong. And it's moving rather quickly, so it's going to bring some showers and maybe even some thunder. We have some thunder down there in Tallapoosa County right now. Some heavy thunderstorms moving across 280 down there around Dadeville and Camp Hill. And the north end of this line could be a little bit strong as it moves through Tallapoosa and Chambers County, but this is not where the main show is. We're going to have another line of showers and thunderstorms develop out ahead of the cold front, which is still well off to our west, and that's what's going to bring us the possibility of severe weather later on today. There was one other thing that we were watching to see, and that would be if these thunderstorms down along the Gulf Coast region could cut things off and keep us from having much instability up here in East Alabama. And while we do have some big storms down there, that doesn't look like it's cutting things off very well. So wet ride this morning down there in southern Alabama, back up toward Montgomery along the I-85 corridor, and then we have this heavy storm developing here in Tallapoosa County, and we'll take you in a little bit closer on this, and we'll spend a few minutes talking about what's going on here. And we'll throw on the 3D graphics and give you a little bit of a different look, and we're also going to stop it and bring the loop current. So there's the storm that's moving through just south of Alexander City, right down 280. There's 280 from Alexander City down to Auburn, and you see several lightning strikes there as this storm is moving across the 280 corridor. But again, this is not severe. We don't even have a special weather statement on this particular storm at the moment. So we'll keep an eye on that. It is increasing in intensity, so by the time it gets over here in Chambers, and maybe even up into southern Randolph, it could be a little bit stronger than it is right now. Don't see much in the way of the possibility of hail, though there is a couple of little bitty small spots there right along 280 where we could have some small hail taking place this morning. But again, I want to make sure you understand, because I know a lot of you are getting up this morning. It's raining there in Tallapoosa, up into Clay and Talladega, western Randolph, western Chambers, even down into Lee County. We've got some rain now. I don't want you to think that this is it, and once this moves through the area, we're all clear, because that's not the case. We will have more showers and thunderstorms developing later on this morning. Probably by late morning, I would say between 10 and 11 a.m., we'll start to see bigger storms form back off to the west, and that's what will move through late morning into the afternoon hours. Will bring us the possibility of some weather. Got a couple of advisories in from the Weather Service, but that is not for our particular area. That's over in Georgia, South Georgia. All right, so yeah, that's what we're looking at this morning. Again, we have an enhanced risk of severe weather for basically all of our counties across East Alabama. Includes Cleburne, Calhoun, Talladega, Clay, Randolph, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, and then in Georgia that would include Carroll, Hurd, Troup, Harris, and Coweta. Those are the counties that we cover in West Georgia. And if you look over there on the right-hand side of the screen, that's the timing. We're talking between 9 a.m. and 1 p.m. for the western sections of East Alabama. That would be primarily Talladega and western Clay down into Coosa. And then from about noon to 3 p.m. for the rest of East Alabama and West Georgia. Of course, that would be 1 p.m. through 4 p.m. for our West Georgia counties. That's the timing on all of this. And, the main threat that we're going to be dealing with is going to be damaging straight line winds and ping pong ball sized hail. So if your automobile is in a situation where it's not very well protected and you have the option of protecting it, I think you need to do that this morning. And then, of course, we're also going to have that possibility of an isolated tornado or two as we go throughout the day as well. This is not going to be a red letter tornado outbreak day. But a few of these storms will be strong enough. They will be capable of producing a few isolated tornadoes. So make sure you know where your safe place is at home and at work. Make sure your family understands where they're supposed to go. Make sure you have a good source of receiving severe weather information. Folks, understand that this storm system is going to it's probably going to line up in such a way that it's going to be coming through East Alabama and Northeast Georgia at about the same time. Now, you guys know I'm an emergency manager, and I'm responsible for 24 counties of Northeast Georgia. So there's always that possibility that I can't stay with you throughout the entire event if I start to have damage occurring in the area that I'm responsible for up here in Northeast Georgia, I may have to leave you with it to switch hats and put on my daytime paying job hat. So just understand that's always a possibility, and that's why you need to make sure that you have multiple ways of receiving severe weather information in the event. I mean, there's always something could happen, even if I don't have to go for job responsibilities. We could have technical issues, power outages. There's all kind of possibilities. So have a redundant plan for ways to receive severe weather information anytime there's a severe weather outbreak across your particular area. All right, so let's jump up here in the chat room this morning and say good morning to some folks. We've got William Martin from Dadeville in here this morning. It ought to be kind of stormy right there in Dadeville this morning. Let's go back over to the radar and zoom in close on this storm here in Tallapoosa County. And it should be raining pretty good right there in Dadeville. That stretches up 280 all the way back up to Jackson Gap. Some light rain down there around Camp Hill. Good morning, Denise in Alexander City. Lakeside and Wedowee. There's Dallas Manning. You guys, if you don't mind hitting those Facebook stars and sending us a little love this morning, that helps us out tremendously. We appreciate it. That's how we continue to be able to do this. And we just passed our 3-year anniversary of Dr. Don's Weather. Pretty cool stuff. Pat Smith is in Roanoke. There's Miss Cecilia. She's holding down the fort in Pennon, Alabama. Newman Farms. Center Chapel's in the hood this morning. Kathy's watching us up in Napoleon. Oh, Josh Caldwell. Good morning, sir. Wedowee, question mark. You're in East Alabama, you're right in the middle of it. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing serious out there right this moment, but there is an enhanced risk of severe weather today in Wedowee. Thanks, Patricia. Seemed like we just started yesterday. Time is flying by. Rock Mills watching us this morning. Good morning, Melissa. There's my Warner Robins, folks. Good morning, Michelle. Kyra's watching us down in Northwest Florida. Good morning to you. Amber, I don't think it's going to be bad driving the kids to school. This stuff that we're looking at right now is not severe. I mean, it could be a little wet. But the stuff that's in East Alabama right now is not the main show. That's just a precursor to what's coming later on today or this morning. There's Jack up in Wedowee. Bobby G. Smith, Fredonia, Alabama. You're down there pretty close to the East Alabama Bee Company at 5 Points. One of our latest supporters here on Dr. Don's Weather. Luthersville. Hey, Christy. Marie Bailey. Good morning. Northeast Georgia. Yeah, that's where I'm sitting, so I'm going to pay attention to that. Yeah, all of North Georgia now had the enhanced risk area that the Storm Prediction Center has put out there has been expanded during the overnight hours, and it covers all of North Georgia now. Let me get over there to Peachtree City right quick, and we'll show you their graphic. I'll tell you what, just bear with me just 1 second, and we will set this up a little bit differently. Okay. I'll just bear with me. We're doing this in real time. Don't pay attention to those times up there just yet. We've got to make a little bit of adjustment here to the timing. All right, now that timing is a little bit better there now. All right, so here's what we're looking at for you folks who are in Georgia watching us this morning. You see that orange area down there. That is the enhanced risk area. So actually, that's not correct either. That's been expanded. So Atlanta, you need to change your graphic. All right, let's do this a little differently. Let's take that off because that is outdated. Go back to the Alabama. And then let's go to the convective outlook. And let's go back to day one. There it is. All right, now this is correct. So you can see now that most of the state of Georgia, with the exception of the southern counties down there around the Florida-Georgia line, and then maybe down there around Savannah, the rest of the state of Georgia is in an enhanced risk of severe weather today. So all of northeast Georgia, all of northwest Georgia, all of west Georgia, Atlanta Metro, all the way over to Augusta, down to Macon, Albany, probably just about to Statesboro, and then back up to just south of Augusta, and then the northern section of South Carolina up there in upstate South Carolina, most of North Carolina, all the way up into Virginia, and even eastern Tennessee now is included in the enhanced risk area. The enhanced risk area, folks, is a higher level. That's where we expect the best chances for severe weather. Doesn't mean it's absolutely going to happen. It just means that the atmospheric conditions will be at their best to support severe weather in those areas there where you see that brownish orange polygon. And then the yellow is a slight risk area. Then the dark green is the marginal, and then the light green is just scattered thunder. Not expecting anything severe there. So most of Alabama, though, has a decent chance of severe weather today, as well as the state of Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and as like I said, up into Virginia, and then back into eastern Tennessee as well. So there you go, Georgia. Hope maybe that answered your question. Took me a minute to get there, and I apologize for that. But we will continue to watch that for you as well. Raining in Pennon and smells so refreshing. That is that. That's that rain smell. It does smell good. All right, let's go back in on this storm in Tallapoosa. There near Buxton. Got a hail marker right there, but it's only about a 20% chance of hail less than a ½ inch in diameter. So if we have some hail right there along Highway 49, let me get you guys back over there to that. There we go. If we have any hail in this storm, it would be right there along 49. That would be the area right there. Maybe just east of Highway 49, north of Jackson's Gap. We have some very small hail taking place this morning. but the lightning output is decreasing with this particular cell, so I don't think, I think this is going to probably start fading away as it moves off to the northeast. But it's headed for you folks up here in Daviston, Milltown, probably going to make it up into southern Randolph County and then end up in southern Hurd or northern Troop as it moves on off to the northeast, well below severe limits. As a matter of fact, you got to go way down. We don't even have any severe weather down here on the coast anymore. We had multiple severe thunderstorm warnings earlier along I-65 and down there around Andalusia. We just have one special weather statement now just to the, near Enterprise and back over toward Dothan. So no severe weather warnings in the state of Alabama at this hour. And again, if you're just joining us, this is not the main show. If you were with us last night, we were telling you that there was a possibility we would have some rain move through early this morning, and we were hoping that that rain would hang out for a while to help stabilize the atmosphere, but that didn't happen. This is a relatively quick-moving prefrontal zone that's moving through East Alabama and West Georgia. It is kicking up a little thunder and lightning and some brief heavy rainfall. It is not severe, and unfortunately, I don't think it's going to hang around long enough to do much good with stabilizing the atmosphere. And then later this morning, as the main cold front pushes from west to east and gets into Alabama and we start to see breaks in the clouds, we get some heating of the day. I mean, we're already at 70 degrees out there now. But as the morning progresses and that cold front gets closer to us, we're going to see more showers and thunderstorms develop back off to the west, and they should intensify as they move into East Alabama and West Georgia, and then eventually the entire state of Georgia, which is a little bit different. Normally we have weakening storms, but this morning, today, particularly because of the timing of this system, we're going to see this line of showers and thunderstorms intensifying as it moves through East Alabama and West Georgia. Good morning, Miss Coach. Carolyn Battles. We know who the coach is in that family. Yeah, rain should be starting in Roanoke now. And you got some moderate rain. Of course, you've got that pocket of heavier showers down there just south of Roanoke, too, that's probably going to make it up across the southern sections of Randolph County. But that is not severe, and that's not why we're here. That's just some showers moving through quickly this morning, and then we'll see more later on today. Good morning, Leanne. There's Miss Mary. She's in Buxton. She just got a little shower. Well, the rain that you see on radar right now is moving into Roanoke at this time. But again, this is not the main show. There will be more storms later this morning that have not even formed yet. And that's where we would expect to see the severe weather. Well, I don't anticipate this being severe at all this morning. It's moving rather quickly. It'll be out of East Alabama in the next 30 minutes completely. But then later on this morning, probably after 9 a.m., closer to noon, we'll start to see more showers and thunderstorms develop, and that'll continue through mid-afternoon for East Alabama and probably 4 or 5 p.m. for our friends over in West Georgia. Tin Chop's in the house. Hey, good morning, Miss Connie. Ashley's watching us from Wedowee. Beth is watching us over in Hogansville in Troup County. There's Mr. Awesome, Pee Wee Terry. Are the boats going to be able to ride today? Miss Marie, forgive me, I'm a little bit lost. I'm not sure what. Is there some type of event that's going to be taking place on the lake? Yeah, I don't know about that. It's gonna have to be a wait and see at that time type deal. I mean, the safest thing to do is to not get on the water today, but if it's an event that's been planned and it needs to be done, as long as you've got a good escape route and everybody's fully weather aware of what's taking place, and you got somebody in charge of watching the radar and way to communicate with the boats and get them off the water in plenty enough time before a storm gets there, then that would be okay. But it's hard to say right this minute, and to give you exact timing would be hard to do as well. How do you find the timing? Through utilizing weather models, data from the National Weather Service. You can get a good general idea by putting the radar in motion. That's a 1 hour loop. And then you can take this particular product that I use, has a measuring tool. And so what you can do is we'll back it up for 1 hour. I'll mark right there. Then we'll bring it forward. And then I'll mark again. So in 1 hour, it moved 21 miles, basically. I mean, that's not exact. That's not exact science, but that gives you a ballpark figure that this line has moved 20 to 21 miles in 1 hour. So it's moving at about 20 miles per hour. Then if you want, I mean, that's for this particular line. This is not the line of severe storms we're talking about, but I'm just giving you an example of how you would figure the timing. And then you would mark where the beginning of the line is all the way over to your particular location. So if we know this line's moving at 20 miles per hour, we'll clear that path. And let's just say you live in Peachtree City. So we would go back and gather the distance from the beginning of the line over to Peachtree City. That's 33 miles. Well, if the storm's moving at 20 miles per hour, then about an hour and 10 minutes, it would be over there in Peachtree City. And if it's 9 o'clock now, then at about 10:10, the line would be there. So that's kind of how you figure the timing. And now, do things happen that alter the timing on storms? Can the line slow down? Can it speed up? Oh, absolutely. And that happens all the time. When you see timing, it is generally speaking, it's certainly not etched in stone. And I know the world we live in today, you guys expect the ambulance to be there when the commercial's over. And that's one of the problems we have with weather, and we have not done a good job at educating you on how all this works. When you see this, like this graphic up here, that's showing the timing across East Alabama, 9 a.m. At the earliest and ending at around 3 p.m., that does not mean that it's going to start raining at 8:59:59. That's just the window. It may be 1 o'clock before it even starts storming at your house, and it may not storm at your house at all. This may be a complete bust. We're hoping that it is. This is just giving you a general idea of what to expect today. Hey, Scott Davis, good morning to you. Hartford, Alabama, down there in southeast Alabama. There's Miss Rose. Yeah, going to be a wet day in Delta, probably. So be weather aware. Get that tune that radio over to God's Country or the Classic. So you'll know what's going on if you're going to be out there delivering mail today. Mr. Awesome is on duty today. Well, that makes me feel good. We know that the city of Roanoke is taken care of. Good morning, Daviston. Sprinkling in Woodland. Thank you for that report, Mr. Keith. Raining in Bacon Level. Thanks, Mike. Light rain in Mellow Valley. Thank you, Miss Sherry. Oh, good morning, Frogville. There's Miss Mary Wilkins. And she says it's just a storming at her house. We got to go check on that. We can't have these frogs getting too much water. Yeah, there it is. That's that little cell we've been watching for the last 30 minutes or so. It is not severe. There's a lightning strike every now and then. We do have one hail core indicator here. It's a 30% chance that there's hail in this storm, and there's 0% chance that it is severe. Those little pinkish purple areas that you see scattered out there across the screen, that's where you might be seeing some very small hail. Unless you're at Miss Mary's house, it may be a little bit bigger. I'm just kidding. You have to give her a hard time. We go way back. But yeah, we got some pretty good rain now from Doublehead back down to Milltown, over to Daviston, down to Shiloh, just north of Pennon, back over toward 5 Points. And that's most likely going to continue moving to the north-northeast. So it's probably going to make it up into Wadley, Dickert, Roanoke. Probably will move right over Rock Mills. There's a good report out of Bay St. Louis, Mississippi. Thanks, Vin. I appreciate that because that's what we're looking at now in East Alabama. These storms came through southern Mississippi during the overnight hours, and they did kick up quite a ruckus. I mean, we had a lot of severe thunderstorm warnings down across southern Mississippi and southern Alabama this morning. This is the north end of what's left of that line that Vin's talking about as it moves through East Alabama. But there's more coming, folks. This is not the main show. This is just a very narrow line of showers and thunder showers that's moving well in advance of the main line that will be in here later this morning or early this afternoon. Bay St. Louis. I spent 3 months down there one summer. That was, when was that? That was 2003, 4, 5, somewhere right in there. I was, Senator Trent Lott appropriated millions of dollars to build an interoperability communication system across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. The idea was to build it out for Texas, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, so that all of the states could communicate better during hurricanes. And I did some consulting work for a communications company. We'll leave them nameless, but it's the big one. Went down there and did some surveys to see what kind of equipment everybody was using to communicate in public safety, and actually got chased out of Mississippi 3 times that summer by tropical storms. Miss Mary. No doubt. Karen's watching us in Bowden, Georgia. Pouring down rain in Daviston. Lights are flickering. Yeah, maybe a little gusty wind in there, but that stuff coming through Daviston is not severe. Ronald Williams is watching us in Roanoke. All right, folks, we're going to hang in here with you for just a few more minutes. Then we're going to shut things down and sit back and watch for more activity forming to our west. Our west. And of course, we'll be back with full coverage as soon as we start to see that happening. But let me kind of reset everything for you and tell you what we think is going to happen moving forward today. It is 6:48 a.m. on Friday, May 6th, 2022. And we do anticipate severe weather later this morning or maybe early this afternoon, continuing through mid-afternoon for a large section of the southeastern United States, to include all of our coverage county areas across East Alabama and West Georgia. And we're talking now an enhanced risk of severe weather. The Storm Prediction Center upgraded all of our area across Alabama and Georgia to an enhanced risk during the overnight hours. And you'll see the timing there on the right-hand side of your screen. If you're watching us on your phone this morning, turn your phone sideways and go full screen, and it'll make it a little easier to see. Best idea is to watch us on YouTube on your big screen TV. That's very easy to do, and the resolution's phenomenal. So I invite you to check that out sometime if you get a chance to. But anyway, here's the timing. We're talking West Alabama between 8 a.m. and 11 a.m., getting into central Alabama and our westernmost counties of East Alabama, 9 to 10 a.m., continuing through about 1 p.m., and then the heart of our coverage area across East Alabama and West Georgia, noonish through 3 p.m., central, 1 o'clock through about 4 p.m., eastern for our West Georgia counties. And this map doesn't show them, but I'll tell you that does include Carroll, Hurd, Troop, Harris, Meriwether, Coweta, and even down into the Columbus area. A good chance of seeing some strong thunderstorms later on today. I think you'll see some more storms down there around Orange Beach and down there at Gulf Shores, Dauphin Island. As a matter of fact, one of the things that could happen that could lessen the severe weather activity across East Alabama when this next line starts developing, if the storms get really, really strong down along the Gulf Coast region, down there where Van is this morning, Orange Beach, for instance, if the storms get really, really strong down there later this morning, that could cut off the northward flow of tropical moisture and could help lessen the severity of the storms up here in East Alabama and West Georgia. So, Vin, while we wish you no harm, we would like to think that we could just turn the switch off here and nobody would have severe weather to deal with. But if your storms are a little stronger down there, that may save us up here. That's the way all this works. This cold front will be tapping into the Gulf of Mexico to get its moisture. So if you can get some strong storms going down there and put that roadblock in place and keep that moisture down there along the Gulf Coast, then we may not have anything to worry about up here in East Alabama and West Georgia. Yes, the yellow did shrink. It was replaced with the orange, the enhanced risk. So a lot of the counties that were in a slight risk when you went to bed last night are now upgraded to an enhanced risk this morning. That includes LaGrange, Georgia. You're in the enhanced risk as well. But again, folks, we talk about this a lot, and this is kind of a new thing that the Storm Prediction Center and the National Weather Service has been doing for the last 5 to 10 years with their severe weather outlooks. But don't get caught up in all of the colors and the levels. And this is just to give you a general guide of the thinking going into a weather event. If you're anywhere in Alabama, if you're anywhere in Georgia, northwest Florida, southern Mississippi, really anywhere in the southeastern United States, you need to be weather aware today because there is a chance that we could see severe weather just about anywhere across the southeastern United States. This is a very powerful late spring cold front that will be moving through later on this morning and into this afternoon. And we get these "what about" questions every single time we do this, folks. This is for everybody. Now, we can't be more specific than that at this point. I can't tell you exactly what it's going to do on Dogwood Circle in Roanoke, Alabama. I can't. That's not possible. And anybody who tries to tell you they can, they're pulling your leg. But I can tell you that there is a high risk of severe weather today across the southeastern United States somewhere. And it looks like that bullseye is going to be right across East Alabama and West Georgia. And now the Storm Prediction Center has covered most of the state of Georgia and a larger area across Alabama for that possibility of severe weather later on today. So that's what we're looking at. When we talk about severe weather, we're talking primarily damaging winds of 60 to 70 miles per hour. There will be some large hail involved in all of this, ping-pong ball-sized hail. Remember, we're still in springtime, so the higher you go in the atmosphere, the colder it is, and that's going to help develop some of this hail this morning and this afternoon. And then there is also a risk of a few isolated tornadoes because we have some veering in the upper levels of the atmosphere that could spin up some tornadoes. So the main threat's going to be damaging straight-line winds. The secondary threat will be ping-pong ball-sized hail. And then there's also that possibility of a few isolated tornadoes to go along with it. Question, have to drive to Tuskegee? Will my phone let me know based on location about warnings? It all depends on which app you've got downloaded on your phone. Most apps will do that now. So it really depends on what kind of app you've got. Now, I'll tell you this. Look, folks, your phone comes with the WIA alerts already turned on. That's going to give you a tornado warning. That's the National Emergency Alert System. That's how you get those amber alerts. You'll get a tornado warning regardless of where you are. It follows you. It knows where you're at unless you've turned all of that off. And if you have, on days like today, you need to go back in there and turn it back on. If you turned it off, you know how to get it turned back on. Because you had to Google it to try to figure out how to cut it off. So you should know how to turn it back on. That comes preloaded on your phone. You don't have to do anything to get the WIA alerts. It's not going to give you severe thunderstorm warnings. It's not going to give you a tornado watch or a severe thunderstorm watch, but it will give you a tornado warning without you doing anything. Then if you want to download an app so that you can get all of the other advisories and warnings as you travel around, there's a ton of them out there. And even the Dr. Don weather app. Now, the Dr. Don weather app does not follow you. It is primarily for our East Alabama and West Georgia counties. It is not designed to be a nationwide weather app. It is for a specific particular area of East Alabama and West Georgia. So we did not set it up to follow you as far as warnings are concerned. Plus, to do that is amazingly expensive. That's like really, I mean, it's insane how much it costs to build an app to do that. Maybe one day we get there, but for now, the app is set up just to give you those alerts for our primary home counties of Cleburne, Clay, Randolph, Talladega, Coosa, Tallapoosa, Chambers, Lee, Harris, Troup, Hurd, Coweta, and Carroll. So there you go. Hope that answered your question. All right, folks, so I'm going to step aside now and and start looking at some more weather data. And I can assure you that the moment we see anything that you need to know about, we'll be right back with you. And we will continue our live coverage here on Dr. Don's Weather. We appreciate you being with us this morning. One quick last look at the current radar. And again, for those of you who have just joined us, this is not the main show. Let me go to the composite right quick. and show you the big picture. That's what we're looking at right now. And you see that line of thunderstorms stretching right across East Alabama, down into the Dothan, Wiregrass area, and then down to around Panama City, and then it goes way out into the Gulf of Mexico. That's not the main show. The main show is going to form back over here to our west. We should start to see showers and thunderstorms developing. And if you look, let me take that to the current and zoom in real close. If you look real close here to the northwest of Philadelphia, Mississippi, or west of Scuba, a couple of counties west of Scuba, which is right there on the Alabama-Mississippi state line, we're starting to see a shower pop up right there. And now that's just that's like somebody turned their garden hose on right there. But the point I'm trying to make is that's what we're going to start to see happening now. Over the next couple of hours, we're going to start to see these little bitty dots pop up over here in eastern Mississippi or western Alabama, and those things are going to rapidly intensify and grow bigger as they move off to the east, and that's where our next round of severe weather possibilities will come from later on today. Not this stuff that's over here in East Alabama and West Georgia right now. That's just not, I wish that was it. I wish I could tell you, okay, folks, it was a complete bust. It's all over with. Let's just go about our weekend. That's not the case. We're going to see more stuff develop over here in Mississippi and Alabama as we go throughout the morning hours. That will be in here around noon and continue through at least mid-afternoon, maybe a little bit later as we go throughout the day. Right quick, Jay's asking a question. Will you cover North Carolina? I typically do not. I did at one time because my daughter lived up there around New Bern, North Carolina. But having said that, we cover primarily East Alabama and West Georgia, but if we have life-threatening weather taking place anywhere in the southeastern United States, and you're in the chat room, and you let me know you're there, and you give me the name of the town that you're in, and if there is something you need to know about, I'll go there. I certainly will, because this is all about helping save lives, and we do not have jurisdictional boundaries that we have our normal coverage area that we kind of stay with, but it's not we're not like television where our advertisers tell us, all right, the second that storm crosses over into such and such county, you got to go. We got to go back to regular programming. That's not how we operate. So, Jay, that's a long way to get to answer your question, but I just wanted to explain it to you. Typically, no, we do not cover North Carolina, but if we're doing live severe weather coverage for East Alabama and West Georgia, and you're in the room and there's severe weather in North Carolina, just let me know you're there and the name of your town, and we'll certainly watch it for you. Absolutely. All right, folks. Hey, Roy Ann Hodges, good to see you in there this morning from Dickard, Alabama. You do have some heavy rain there. But, again, Miss Roy Ann, that's not the main show. We got some more showers and thunderstorms coming later on this morning into this afternoon. And I'll be back with an update. We'll plan on doing an update, let's call it for 10 a.m., unless something changes before then I'll come right back. But if not, I'll see you back in here around 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern with another update on Dr. Don's Weather. Y'all don't forget to hit those Facebook stars and help support us here on Dr. Don's Weather. If you're over there on YouTube, you can go to our website at drdonwx.com. There's a donate button there on the home page. We certainly appreciate you guys helping us out and keeping us going here on Dr. Don's Weather. I'll see you back at 10 a.m. right here on Dr. Don's Weather.